Welcome everyone to another episode of the Campus Waterfowl Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Christians, and this weekend for the Collegiate Waterfowl Tour, I am out in Maryland visiting some students from Salisbury University. And unfortunately, this is the second to last trip of the hunting season so far. So we got Salisbury University this week, and then next weekend I will be down in Mississippi visiting some students from Ole Miss. So stay tuned for that trip this upcoming weekend. But before we get into the podcast, I need to thank some companies for their support all throughout the hunting season. First off, Ken Cartridge, Tetra Hearing, Drake Waterfowl, Ducks Unlimited. Could not do this without their support, so thank you to those guys, and make sure you guys go give them a follow on social media, support them, do what you need to do. But yeah, thank you to those companies. But let's just dive into the podcast right away. We got a lot to talk about. It's day one. We did a little bit of hunting this morning, but let's we'll touch on that for sure. But you guys got something to look forward to after this podcast will go up literally today's Tuesday already. We're recording it Tuesday at noon, and I'll have this up here on YouTube and podcasts everywhere tonight. So this upcoming Thursday, I'm going to be trying to get the first today's hunting all done, edited, and posted on YouTube.
We might want to wait one more day.
No. We're going to get that on YouTube
tomorrow.
right away and share with everyone what's going on.
Tomorrow should be good.
just to be clear, today was a scenic shoot. The hunting was, we just set some decoys and
got some great drone shots.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
we wanted to kill it.
Showed you the marsh, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what it was. That was what it was. Yeah. But let's start out with some introductions. Yanni, you want to start us out?
Yeah, my name's Yanni Harris. I attend Salisbury University. I'm a financial communications major. I've been hunting my whole life. These past few years, we started working with companies like Abbott Calls, which brought us to meet these fellas here, and we're just trying to have a little bit of fun and hunt the season out.
What's up, guys? I'm Ethan Peterson. I work construction as well as do some media stuff. Like he said, we work with Havoc, Huntwise, and Triptych Multi-Tool, as well as VPC lanyards. They help us a lot throughout the season, and we're more than happy to be with them.
Yep. Caleb Abbott, like you said, Lockton Productions. That's how I met all these guys. But I'm a firefighter right now, and I do media on the side.
Yeah, my name is Menel Harris. I go to Salisbury University. I'm a business finance major, and it's been a grind this season. It's been a pain, but we're getting through it.
Why don't you touch on that, right? We might as well touch on that.
Yeah, well,
I need to hear about what's the hunting like out in Salisbury in Maryland.
It starts with a lot of scouting, like a lot, and
I want to set some foundations first, though. So I've been running Campus Waterfowl since 2014, and since when I started, and then I would say 15, 16, I used to get a ton of photos sent in from Salisbury University from this area.
Really?
A ton.
So hunting was good.
And it was that's why I've kind of always wanted to come out here, because you got best of both worlds. You can go to Ocean City, go to the Atlantic, or you can go to the Chesapeake. And so you're right smack dab in the middle between the two. So that's kind of how I saw it, because I would get pictures sent in of sea ducks and then puddlers and a little bit of everything. It's crazy.
I just feel like the weather's got to be right. I mean, when the weather is right and we get ice,
it's good.
It gets good here. But when you got these warm days, 50 degrees, 60 degrees in December,
you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 14 degrees last week, and you saw this morning, we got out of the truck, it was 42 degrees.
Yeah.
And, all the ice comes up. So the ice comes in and moves all the birds around. We scout it, figure out where they are, what they're doing. And then when it just warm snaps like that, it sends us back into the scatter pattern.
So,
But the hunting here is actually really good. And as somebody who is a student, and I don't have any private land down this way, there's a ton of opportunities to get on land. It makes it a lot easier if you have a boat, and if you have a truck that will drive you around and suck all the money out of your bank account for gas. But you just got to scout, and if you do all that, you can be successbut I think we've all had some real good hunts on public land, and it's awesome, and it's super rewarding when you do it. So it's definitely a ton of fun.
Yeah, but you got to put the time in first.
So a couple, the type of hunting, you guys hunting a lot of water around here? Or you got
Almost always.
You need a set of waders to hunt Maryland.
Yeah, you told me day one the two most important things is boat. Or you say boat and waders.
Boat and waders.
Not even a gun.
Not even a gun.
You gotta get through the marsh and all the bull crap before you can pick your gun up. So.
Yeah. And then what about? And then tonight you said we are field hunting.
Yeah.
How was the field hunting around here?
It depends where you are. So like if you go up 2 hours to the north in Kent County or places like that, you can kill a lot of geese in the field. Well, not anymore because one, but you used to be able to go out there, kill your limit by 10, get out, go back the next day, do the same thing again.
Yeah, Kent County was known for its goose hunting. Worldwide, it was known. Down this way, at least these boys do a ton of resident hunting, and that's kind of their bread and butter. And there's most definitely field goose hunting, but it's definitely not a focus like it is up the shore.
No. But I mean, when it gets good here, I mean, just like anything. I mean, when it's good, it's good. But
yeah,
It's just gotta be good.
Oh yeah. Right now they're also spread out around here. We don't see a whole lot of migrators in this area. It's really rare.
but it's wild. 2 hours north here, it's just goose hunting.
Really?
You goose hunt. Yeah. There's
That's
no
what all
public
the
land.
outfitters are doing.
There's no
Like,
marsh. There's no public land. It is your goose hunting. That's what you do.
And there's like what 2 or 3 duck outfits out there.
Yeah.
Maybe, and the rest are geese.
Yeah.
Like that's all they do is goose hunt.
Do you guys do you guys go for a little bit of everything? Like, do you go to Ocean City to do the sea duck hunting? Do you mostly stay to the bay, or like what kind of hunting do you guys mostly do?
We do sea ducking when like we get burned on the marsh. Like, we'll go out for like 3-4 days, kill like 3 ducks, and we're like, come on, let's go shoot some stuff. Then we'll go out and burn the sea ducks real quick because they are dumb.
But at least my brother and I, we're all over the place. So we live in Ocean City, but we go to school here, and we're lucky enough to have houses at both. So when we're at home, meeting up with family over breaks and all, we spend a lot of time brant hunting puddlers down that way. We do spend a lot of time doing that, and then occasionally, probably at max 3 times a season, we'll run out to the ocean and sea duck hunt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But most of our time is spent here on the salt marsh for sure.
Shoot, I'd rather kill 1 black duck than
10 sea ducks.
sea ducks.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't do anything with them. The taste,
that's
they're
true.
terrible tasting.
What about what's your favorite type of duck? Like, you guys got a variety of
teal.
species out here.
Gadwall.
Boy, stop. Widgeon, what are you talking about?
Are you talking about to eat or like to shoot?
Let's do shooting first, and then we can go to eating if you want.
Gadwall. That's a decoy duck.
Pintails for me.
Pintails over water? Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
What are you talking
I
about?
mean, it was crazy in North Dakota, but like here,
I don't know. I
I
like.
like shooting pintails.
Widgeon.
Man, pintails.
They don't. Okay.
And them teal boy.
Yeah, teal are fun.
Over the field, they're fantastic.
That
That was
was
the
kinda
craziest thing I've seen in my
That was
entire
crazy.
life.
Just teal in general.
So what they're talking about, we went out in North Dakota and we were in rolling hills and these teal came over a crest of a hill and then they dropped down, we lost them. And then they came up, did 3 flips and they were 5 yards in our face. It was insane.
Wow.
And a drive.
That was the one time I saw 8 guys come up on 8 teal, and all 8 teal died.
And you remember the night before? One of y'all were out there with me. You and the guy.
Yeah, I was
Dude, they
going
were
to
like
truck.
100 teal just buzzing the field all
Yeah.
night. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that last light, it was crazy.
What about the black ducks? I didn't know, so you were telling me stories about black ducks
All right,
when I first.
Nah, he's got black ducks.
So, black ducks. That's all. We grew up shooting them things like every day. Like when we were like 12, 13, like we would literally jump in the marsh and pound the crap out of them. Like that's all we shoot, and it's just like getting tired of it, you know. It's
Just tired. Of black.
Black ducks.
Yeah,
I suck at shooting
People,
black ducks.
people out west are like just shaking their heads.
Yeah,
It's
like
come
that's
on.
we
No,
went.
but that's how we are about greenheads. Down here,
Yeah.
we never get them.
Yeah.
Like ever. And we go out west, shoot a bunch of
all the time.
greenheads,
Yeah.
and we're
Them boys
out in this
in
world.
them boys in Tennessee. The first day we were there, a 2-pack of black ducks come in there and they shot them and they flipped out like
Yeah, they were going
screaming,
wild.
hollering. I'm just like,
Another black duck.
come on, guys.
I'm looking at like the 18 mallards on this trigger. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Brants, you guys been after Brants much or?
It's
Not-
been terrible this year.
This
Like,
season's
it's
been really
bad.
hard. Our weather has seemed to line up with bad tides and full moons, which makes it really hard.
Yeah.
But in
And the
years
worst
past,
part-
brant hunting, that's kind of what Menel and I do a lot of. We love it. And the best part about it is we've been 1 in 11 have been banded. So every 11 we kill one. We kill one with a band, which is awesome.
But the worst part about the Brant this year is they came down early. Like we found them early. They were like, got like 1,000 down here, and we were like, all right, bet, let's hunt them. We killed one day, none the other. They'd fly right past us, a whole rig,
They're getting
flagging to
educated.
them, doing everything, and they just sit on big water.
They're getting real
all day.
educated.
I mean, it's blowing 20, and instead of being in the lead right at the island where we are, they're sitting on big water.
So I think next season we're gonna definitely have to do some adapting to that, because this year they definitely changed their pattern. So that's because we're not like New Jersey and New York where they're getting like what we see in divers. They're getting that amount of brand. We don't see that. We get on great seasons we get 3,000 to 5,000, and that's it. We hold them for the season, so they get educated super quickly. And a lot of guys will shoot into big groups of them, or run them up off the water all the time, or just not hunt them properly and smartly, and it educates them super quickly. So we're gonna have to figure that out again next year. But we love doing that.
If it puts it in perspective for you, there's an island, and I literally saw 10 on there, and the next day someone was hunting it.
Yeah.
For 10.
Jeez.
So it's but it's fun. I mean, brand are really cool. Around here, they're kind of thought as a lot like a sea duck, like, oh, you're just shooting brand. But to me, they decoy like a Canada goose and a teal hybrid, and we can still kill 2 of them, which is great.
Yeah.
Unlike our Canadas, so they kind of, for us at least, they filled in our Canada season because we really stopped hunting them, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We
Because
like
for
it.
us, we were driving 2 hours to go kill 1 goose, and we were like, not burning the gas for it anymore.
What about, like, how do brands even taste?
Like a
It
widgeon,
tastes fine.
Really?
just
Oh,
like
yeah, it's
everything else.
grass, yeah.
They just eat widgeon grass, so it's just like that.
I've never heard anyone talk about, like, how brands taste. So, I just wonder if it's...
No, it's crazy though. They hit the deck and they're flying along the water, and then they pop up, and when they come, they do they oak leaf
Yeah, like snow geese
teal.
flipping all
Like,
over the
it
place.
is crazy. They oak leaf, and then they're like 5 yards in your face, and they don't care what you're in. We killed them out. Our buddies started doing it, and they were in an unbrushed tangle-free blind, and we were on sand, and it was the marsh camo.
No, it was the wood camo, like the
like
timber
the
camo.
timber
We were on
camo.
a sand bar, like just sand, and we put these unbrushed panel blinds.
literally
up, just sat there and
green.
killed them.
And we killed our limit. Like
Whatever works.
Yeah.
they used to be so dumb, and now we can't. Like
Now we gotta hunt them like geese.
You said we might have a chance Thursday, possibly?
Yeah,
moon
we
looks right, tide looks right.
one of the moon's right, tide's right. We got some weather coming, and they got on an island that we hunt a lot. So hopefully, if everything pans out, we'll run down there and look at it, get eyes on it before we go and hunt it. And if they want to cooperate, hopefully we can go in there and just work them. So that's a lot of fun.
Hopefully, you'll take one home, and your wife won't be too mad that you're
Yeah. That'll be the second one for the year. We'll see. But might as well redheads. We're going species after species.
Baby, whoa.
This just goes to show like just the amount of the
You see
amount
me
of
do a
different birds they
backflip?
got.
Yeah.
But these guys are talking about just the number of redheads out here.
I mean, like I said, ice, cold, wind.
Terribly cold.
Like,
Yeah.
like when you're running across any body of water to go get these redheads, it better be freezing before it hits your face.
yeah.
Like there are redheads here right now, and we could have hunted them this morning, but
There's no wind, so
there's no wind. They're not going to fly. And even though like we know exactly that, we scouted hard and found the bar they were sitting on and know how we can hunt them and be effective killing them, and we know they're going to come there, but with no weather to force them to move, and especially on a full moon like this, they just feed at night when it's actually cold, and they just sit all day.
Yeah, they'll loaf out in the middle.
Yeah, like you'll watch them.
them.
You will just watch 10,000 of them sit in a raft, and you're like, all right,
Yeah,
this
so
is
you
cool.
need to blow them about like 30, like 5 footers out there. They won't sit out there for long.
Jeez.
But shooting divers that's my favorite.
Killer.
That and goose hunting.
Yeah.
And that works.
Seeing a 50
September
pack just
goose
bunch
hunting.
up in your face
Oh, that.
and
Yeah,
just come in. Like, so we were hunting canvasbacks one day, like way back when diver hunting was actually good. We had a bunch of people in there, and they were like, we're the young guns, so they're just like, all right, you guys go up and shoot them. We came up, shot 5 times, and like 13 dropped. Like, it was
Thankfully,
insane.
we were in a giant booby blind that day,
Yeah.
like loaded down. We had like 18 of us. We were still one person, so we were done on canvasbacks after that.
Like literally shot 5 times. They come in so tight. Like canvasbacks will go out, do a figure 8, and come right in and just bunch up last second. And doubles and triples are not uncommon.
And like everyone love when they think about divers in general. I think a lot of times the immediate thought is bluebills and redheads, but the history of the Chesapeake Bay is canvasbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Big
King of the Bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, that's
beautiful.
died out though.
It
I
has.
shot a canvasback in
Really?
a year.
Last year.
They
2.
haven't been here like that in a while.
Last
Youth day.
year, last year I took we took my little brother and some other youths, and we could take some veterans, which was cool. So we had some shooters, but we found them like stacked. Like we were like, oh boy, this is gonna be good. We probably like before like 8 o'clock, there was probably like a couple rafts of like 100 canvasbacks, redheads coming in there, just stupid. Like from here to that wall, it felt like it's dumb. It's dumb when it's right.
When it's right, it's awesome. But when it's not, you're just sitting there.
But the worst part about Maryland is I swear every duck that comes through this flyway knows exactly when hunting season is, and then they forget about youth day because youth day always goes off.
Oh
Yeah,
I mean,
you
now-
stay's the best day of your life.
Youth Day's February, man.
Yeah.
It's just cold.
It's always
It's
seems
cold,
like that
and
first
we get
week.
more
Oh,
birds
youth
down
days
here.
at the end of the year?
It's
Yeah.
2 weeks after the end of
Oh.
our season.
So,
It's like
those 2
before
weeks-
for us.
It's it's both.
Oh, you guys get.
We have one in the like
Yeah.
before the season and then after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the best one's after.
In February.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If we could hunt in February,
Yeah, we
it
have
would be
a
so
we have
bad.
a speaking of dry fields, we have a dry field in Pokemon here, and every year, the second week of February, it gets loaded with mallards, black ducks, and geese, like every single year, and we just can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
I'd rather cancel December and just give us February.
Yeah,
Or take first split.
something.
Yeah,
I could
shoot fly here. 100 degrees, we're still catching fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm still
rather go
working.
out, catch tuna than kill one duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I didn't even ask, how'd you guys even get into waterfowl hunting?
For me, my dad and uncle started taking me, and then through them we met a bunch of people, and then so we met Jonathan Pippin, and he got us into deer hunting and a little bit of Canada goose and duck hunting. But then we played lacrosse with our buddy Cole Evans. He goes to CNU, and his dad is a waterfowl guide in Kent County.
Okay.
So we
That's when we started a
forage
lot.
there.
Started doing a lot of it there.
We started brushing blinds for him, then setting decoys. Then
And this was when
quarter
you guys
man.
were in high school still? Or,
No, we were like
or did you-
middle school.
Middle school.
sixth grade,
Yeah.
fifth, sixth grade. That's when we went from like 1 day a week or 5 times a season with our dad, like pulling us out in the sled to every weekend.
With a
like,
BB gun shooting decoys.
Yeah. What'd you call it? What'd you say? Knee knockers?
Knee knock. Oh yeah, Caleb. I don't know if you want to give him the story, but you can if you want.
I mean, I guess it's kind of similar. Like my dad originally like tried to get me into it because he used to do it like before I was born. But like then, like we didn't really have nothing. We had like a dozen greenhead gear, like
Yep.
mallard floaters, like my Cabela's
bows.
waders, like yeah. So like we went like a couple times and that was cool. But I really didn't fall in love with it until like I met him and like we got a group of guys together and we started goose hunting. And after I saw that first big group of honkers pitch in there, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to
That's
do
what's
right
up.
there.
Yeah.
So we ran from there and haven't looked
Yeah.
back.
I feel
I
like
mean-
geese make you fall in love, and then ducks keep everything
Yeah,
going.
well, I think for the most part, at least on the shore, you start with geese, and you're like, all right, this is awesome. But then you see a fat pack of greenheads or widgeon just do it to an ice hole, and you're like, those geese are pretty cool. But,
No, I mean, hitting on what he said, I mean, just grow with the parents and stuff like that, and then we ran around with each other with Cabela waders and a sweatshirt and just
freezing.
freezing cold. I mean, just loving every minute to it. Like, his mom would drop us off, his dad would drop us off, and we'd just run right in there to public. No flashlights, nothing.
They would just let you go. You two just
Oh yeah, I
have at
mean,
it.
they trusted us. I mean, we weren't dumb, but we were dumb, if that makes sense.
We got lost the first time we went.
Oh, yeah. It was like
No Onyx, nothing.
Caleb and I wake up and it's like pouring, like you hear the house is like, and I look at him, he looks at me, he's like, I was like, all right, come on,
Go.
We walk outside, we put our waders on in the garage, and we have our sweatshirts on. We're all suited up. We look at each other. We're like, we're about to get wet. Sure enough, we hop out there. No flashlights, nothing. Caleb's like, yeah, I got it. We get back there in that mud. It was just a time. I mean, you had to be there to just,
See it all.
yeah, see it all. But ever since them shooting them McGanthers and black ducks,
Yeah.
now we're here.
Old
Yeah.
bubblehead.
Used to be killer for a freaking hairy head.
Oh boy, they come in there nasty. But yeah, very much.
In the grand scheme of things, you guys haven't been waterfowl hunting for a long time compared to some other
It feels
hunters.
long.
But how has things changed since like when you first started to now?
I think it's the knowledge. Like,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But
The
if you're
knowledge.
getting at like how the hunting changed.
Yeah, how has the hunting
how-
changed? Just how
okay.
has
It's-
like the entire like even waterfowl hunting as a whole changed, like with social media and just things how now
Yeah.
what it was to what it is now.
It's
Most
blown up.
importantly, it's not cold. Like
Yeah,
like
never,
usually like, all through December, like it is not uncommon to have 65-degree days. Like 2 years ago, it was 60 degrees on Christmas.
Dude, it was the same thing this year.
Yeah,
Maybe 40 degrees.
and then
on
like the
Christmas.
week after,
Maybe.
the first week of January, it finally got cold.
Yeah,
But
so-
I think that's been the worst thing for us.
It's like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
really, it's been
God, it's been
warm.
terrible.
Yeah, but it gets cold for 1-2 days. Everything like halfway ices up, and then boom, 50 degrees. And you're like,
Yeah.
But I mean, the social media part has definitely come up. Like, I feel like that, like, you know, like videos and pictures and everything.
Yeah,
is
it's
definitely,
giving you guys an opportunity.
Yeah.
to
I mean,
kind of
yeah,
pursue.
man. Yeah, we picked up a camera and was like, yeah, we want to do this. You know what I mean? And but I definitely think the camera work is definitely more popular now than when we
yeah.
first started.
And it's definitely a different breed of camera work. Like,
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
just like
Yeah.
some guy sitting behind everybody taking a general film or just a standard picture of some guy chasing it or sitting with his dog or getting a duck. Like, it's intricate shots, edited super well.
the editing's changed.
The editing's
immensely.
changed, I think,
But
a lot.
one thing I have seen change. I think the future of like videography is Instagram reels.
Yeah.
Like I see more people posting on Instagram than I do on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I'd say like a couple years ago it was like YouTube,
TikTok.
YouTube,
Dude,
but
TikToks.
now it's like TikTok and Instagram. Like quick 30-second reels of like nice edits and transitions. And
Yeah,
stuff
sweet
like that.
transitions, short clips, stuff like that, for sure.
Nice
What,
music in the
what
background.
year, like, if you were to think, what's your earliest memory of waterfowl hunting, and what year was your earliest memory, would you say?
I'm not allowed to say this on camera.
I just wanted, like, for the listeners and viewers, for the podcast, like, to give them an idea of, like,
Man,
how long ago can you think of that first time when you
Now we're
waterfowl
like
hunting?
5,
Yeah, we were real young, and
How old, what year was that when you were 5?
2006, 2007.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, 2006 or 7.
Because I know there's probably, I don't know if
2007.
older guys listen to our podcast, but it's like, they're probably shaking their head.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
it's like 2005.
That was yesterday.
That was
Yeah.
yesterday
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
We didn't even have waders at the point, and pond was completely froze up, but he had a bubbler in it, so it kept open. And
For the record, that day, I didn't have waders, so we were walking on the ice, and I fell through the ice. My dad made me sit in the blind the rest of the day, and it was impoundment. Yeah, it was
I got pulled out in a sled. after we fell in. But so we went out, helped set decoys. We like tossed them to them, and we were sitting in the blind, and we shot black duck after black duck after black duck. Kept thinking they were hen mallards.
Come on, man. You're not supposed to say that.
Oh my
We were
God.
legal. We had to call some friends in, but it was legal.
we were illegal at the end of the day, but we ended up stopping short.
That's awesome.
that's a new one.
You're an idiot, Menel.
Man, I don't know.
I don't even know what year. Probably 2010.
2010.
2010, probably.
So you don't even remember a time where it's like bringing. I'm trying to think what 2005 was like, even like for like technology in the sport of waterfowl hunting. If that was even like really getting going,
No.
even then.
Mm-mm.
I think the
So
Well, I think that's compared.
Well-
Like, you know, that depends who you ask. Like for us, we say no
'Cause you were
because
so young.
you know they just had mojos, and my dad was shooting his. You know, my dad used to be huge into traps, so he was shooting his
Yeah.
trap gun, and my uncle was shooting his, you know, his 870, and at the time that was
Yeah, that was
like
yeah.
that was the best of the best. Now, I mean, you're shooting an M2, we're all shooting Benellis, except you, but it's okay, you'll get there one day.
This is not
And,
Hey, no, Frenchie's a good gun. I mean,
oh yeah, sure.
Frenchie and Menel are like the same thing.
But so I think that's a weighted question. Like to us, has the technology changed? Yeah, it's not even comparable.
Well, yeah,
I mean, just
yeah,
like
yeah.
think of, you know, how Drake's come up or like Sika gear, you know, just that stuff. But to
And
the-
even from a film aspect, like I feel like the
Oh.
only thing I was seeing back then was maybe a GoPro video off the barrel.
no, I don't
maybe.
even think they were around yet. Like
Them
your
old
dad's
handy
flip
cams,
phone, yeah, the
probably,
handy
like-
I
cam.
don't know, like
The cameras now are
yeah,
insane.
Yeah.
Speaking about cameras, like I'm really excited. Like the next couple of years, just to see like there's guys picking up cameras like, and they're just like boom, like
Right
it's
off the
just
bat.
people are so talented right now with it.
Dude, but
Like-
on top of that, I feel like the cameras are kind of like the quality of the cameras. If you buy a nice one, it makes your life so much easier.
It does, but I
Because you
mean,
can just point and shoot.
Edits
And then
are
as
still-
long as you know how to
Editing is still the key.
No, as long as you know how to edit it, it's gonna be a great picture.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely come up.
Yeah, when it comes to equipment, like there's a diminishing return of like price point, and diminishing return of like the quality that you get with your gear. But it's like if you have, I think glass is always just the most important.
Oh yeah.
You can run a Rebel with some good glass and get really good
Yeah,
photos and
you can
do a lot with it.
The glass is very special.
I mean, probably every good hunting photographer right now started with a Rebel. Like if you look at like where they started, and they post all that stuff, and I mean that the Rebels aren't bad, especially when you're getting into it. Especially nowadays.
One.
I don't know, going from one of them to a mirrorless is crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean
Nice day,
100%,
dude.
100%.
On a mirrorless camera, like that one, you can literally take a picture of a fish, zoom in, and count each scale.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That macro lens, boy.
Yeah.
My buddy got like the same camera, and he went out. He's from San Francisco, and they went tuna fishing for like a bachelor party or something, and they were holding these tunas, and they were taking pictures, and he literally zoomed in on them, and I was counting scales on tuna.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. So you guys mentioned that kind of for some of you, like your dads and uncles, they brought you into waterfowl hunting. Do you know how they got into waterfowl hunting by chance?
Yeah, my dad.
Because there's a lot of just history around here, so I didn't know how far you know of like your family going back to waterfowl hunting.
Well, my dad got pretty lucky. So he grew up all over the place, but he went to school at Susquehanna in Pennsylvania, and his roommate was Prosser Mellon of like Mellon Banks and like Carnegie Mellon.
Carnegie
Steel.
Mellons.
And so he grew up hunting High Fence Farm. That's where he started. And they had like elk, antelope, anything you could think of in there, bighorn sheep, like in Pennsylvania in the High Fence. So they were all driven, always. Like, so people would walk and they would sit on trees and hunt. And like literally when they were duck hunting, they'd have an impoundment and people would drive the ducks to them. Like, it was not hunting. My dad didn't really, like, he gave us a great start. Like, he got us into it, but wasn't really like the perfect person to teach us everything that we need to know now. So that was great how we expanded our horizons after that.
Yeah.
But so that's where he started.
I mean, the only thing
Yeah, okay.
the only thing I can think back to is like Dad's never really talked about when he was like little, but like when he was like middle school, high school, kind of teenager or whatever, like he grew up in Fairmount, so he grew up like surrounded by marsh. You know what I mean?
Where's
So
that at then?
It's in between Dealon and Chrisfield.
Okay.
So I don't.
We passed it on the way down here today.
Okay, so it's in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's close by, but yeah, so that's all like public marsh out there and stuff. So he used to just say like he used to run around the marsh, jump shooting ducks, and they used to shoot a lot of ducks back then, like doing dumb stuff. And so obviously times have changed now, but yep, that's how I could remember that.
Yeah, I mean, Dad, he did a lot of hunting with one of his good buddies when he was younger. He used to run around just like we do, but Dad was more of a fisherman. Dad fished a lot, and but I mean, deer hunting's his thing. But I mean, he, like I said, he ran around and duck hunted. But what really set it over the edges when me and Caleb kind of started getting after it.
He's my dad. We got the same dad.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we're actually twins.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
I probably should have told you that before you moved into my house.
Yeah. Yeah, on my way up here, so I was trying to learn. Like, I knew there was a lot of history about Salisbury and this area and waterfowl hunting, but then I started watching videos, and you learn about like the Ward brothers and just decoy carving as a whole. And but then they brought up just the waterman things,
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of
God,
things,
yeah.
and just how important and that entire lifestyle was around here. So when you brought that up, I was like, I just wonder how. And like his dad, and because how long your family's been in this area?
Oh, my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Grandparents and everything. Really?
Well, yeah, my grandfather owns a big farm here in Pocomoke, so
Really?
yeah.
So I just wondered, just all that, the stories of the watermen and things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that. So
We have a what's his CL Marshall's dad. He was a big decoy carver and stuff like that. So.
If you see my dad later today or tomorrow, you can ask him because he used to work on the water in Fairmount too when he was coming up. So that was way back in the day.
and when they're working on the water, is it a lot? What kind of fishing?
Oyster and just net and stuff like that, crabbing.
So yeah, oystering during the winter.
Yep.
And some people are crazy enough to put big ass wetsuits on and dive for them.
Jeez.
Like, it's cold.
But that's new. That's not an old technique.
No.
Back in the day, they would use these 14-foot long tongs with baskets and rakes on the bottom, and they would just go over an oyster bed and just pick them up fast as they could fill up bushel baskets.
I mean, they still do it now.
Yeah.
Them boys down there at the island.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Don't they get
Farm out.
bigger quotas when they're tonging and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They can catch
Oh, they loaded up like that much freeboard.
Yeah, like they take center consoles like we were on this morning and just load the boat with oysters until it's like
That was back.
that was back.
Yeah.
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 But like,
and that thing's like that far above the water.
yeah, like 25-foot boats and like oysters stacked to the ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
And they're just standing there happy as can be. I mean,
They
they're
got a
getting paid.
payday.
I mean, you think about it, the boat they're on, they don't have a lot of like bills for like fuel and stuff because it's so small, and they're just
But this was back in the day. Like,
Yeah, they-
the regulations don't let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, now if you want to be a waterman, just don't.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah, the license, arm and a leg.
Shoot,
Yeah.
the license for everything now, they don't give out any new ones really unless you want to wait 5-10 years. So you buy them off people and they can go up to like.
No, I think
25
TFLs are
grand.
done completely.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about like so? Yeah, watermen. I'd assume that's happened since day one, kind of when people came to this area,
Yeah.
migrated to this area. But I wonder, like, kind of how or when waterfowl coming, because even a lot of people, there's so much history about waterfowl in this area compared to other places in the country, and kind of. I imagine it was just a way of life just to supply for your family and
Oh, yeah.
things, but then the evolution of like the decoy carving kind of started. But do you guys know much about that in the area?
Well, shoot, when they were running around with punt guns and sneak boats and everything, they weren't just doing it for their families. They were sending them up to New York and
Oh,
selling
so
them.
you could trade and
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they would shoot all these. So like the watermen would fish in the summer, crab would do whatever, and then they go out with these punt guns and literally throw whatever they had in their shed in there.
Nails, screws.
Yeah, this was
old
back
parts.
when it wasn't regulated at all. They'd bait an area and know they were getting there and like sneak up to them and one shot they're killing 100, 120, loading them in the boat, doing it again, and then shipping them up to New York and getting top dollar for them because they wanted them for the restaurants.
Jeez.
But decoy carving is definitely has a really deep history here on the shore. But Abbott, Maryland, which is about 2.5 hours, 3 hours north of here, is like they get most of the credit for the Maryland decoys. But like the Ward brothers down this way, and even a bunch of really good carvers. Like even my high school art teacher, his name was Ben Dyes. He was taught how to carve by the Ward brothers. And then he taught us, all the students, and he's a fantastic artist and decoy carver. So
Some of his paintings are ridiculous.
it's definitely a long-standing tradition here, but it's most definitely dying out. So that's sad to see, but
I mean,
it's one of the things.
I think everyone's just getting old,
Yeah.
which sucks because nobody like real young is trying to get into it.
Well, and there's no need to carry around a wooden decoy rig anymore. Like what we did this morning. Do you imagine taking 24 wooden decoys in that weigh 10 pounds apiece?
Yeah,
It's,
but I mean, a lot of people are still buying them for decoration. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
and there's certain
I
hunting.
actually, well, even collecting.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I
exactly,
actually
yeah.
bought my first collector decoy. Gosh, what was that? Like a month or two,
Yeah, I
3
mean,
months ago.
I think they're neat. They're
Yeah.
definitely neat to see like someone be able to it's crazy.
Yeah, you start you buy one, you start learning about you see the duck, and then
Yep.
you learn about the duck, and then you learn about the artist, and then his story, and
Yeah,
then it's like,
exactly.
and then it's like regionalized, where like the artist or the carver I got mine from he was from Louisiana and stuff, and so you
Oh,
start
wow.
learning about Louisiana carvings
Yep.
Yeah.
and things like that, and yeah, it's just a wormhole once you start.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine what it's like up here because you got
Yeah, there's just a lot of
the
history.
history
for
up
sure.
here is just insane.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm excited because you guys, there's even a board museum, right?
Yep.
And that's a part of the Salisbury University, right? Is
Yeah,
it?
I don't believe that it's like a direct part,
It's
but I
not.
know it's very close and near to Salisbury's heart. Like they
Mm-hmm.
they do field trips there and they take kids in to see it and do a lot of stuff on site.
But yeah, I'm hopefully sometime this week you can
Yeah,
get over there and
Get
see
over
some
there
of
for a
that.
little bit.
For sure.
I've been seeing some videos on YouTube, and it's like those things.
It's
They
unbelievable.
look more real than the actual duck.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's just stupid.
I mean the Ward decoys are obviously awesome, but like we were talking about technology earlier, what they had back then compared to what we have today. You look at the tournament decoys. Like a lot of these tournament decoys that win will go into this museum, and I'm talking like a duck backflap, a hand carved duck of solid piece wood backflapping, and you can't tell that it's not a real duck, a mounted duck.
Crazy.
And now we got the wood burners now. They're wood burning every single feather into it before
Yeah.
they paint it. So
Beautiful.
it's got texture too.
Jeez. Yeah. I'm excited to see that, and hopefully, I don't know if they let cameras in or not, but hopefully they do, and maybe I can
You can get
highlight
some pictures.
highlight some of those in the next YouTube video when we go there that day.
Yeah, that'd be
So I
pretty
think
cool.
that'd be sweet sharing with everyone.
But shoot, we did something similar for my dad when we were young. Like we barely working, just scraped up $50 and bought him like a little black duck like that big, and our freaking dog ate it. We were pissed.
But they even got like this whole area has, isn't there like a carving festival? Like there's a big
Yeah.
around waterfowl in
It's
it.
at the Eastern Waterfowl Festival. They do all that stuff.
I think they do one in Ocean City too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
they do.
cause,
I think they do.
Yeah.
And it's more so about the celebration of like carvings and like the history in the area, not so like is there waterfowl like hunting companies that come up here?
So for the
Things like
festival,
that?
yeah, the
For the
Waterfowl
festival,
Festival is a
later.
whole celebration
Okay.
of just the waterfowl industry here on the shore.
That's more for the calling competitions. I feel like. I
Yeah,
don't think
Oh,
they
okay.
really-
So they
centered
got
around the
calling
calling
competition.
competition,
Okay.
And then they do something called Dock Dogs. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah.
But they do that and a bunch of different call vendors. And we have a big hunting store here on the shore called Molly's Place. They come and put on a huge tent. And
They sponsor the whole thing.
yeah, and there's
Okay.
it's a good time, food, live music, all that good stuff. It's a full festival. It's pretty
But the dock dogs is crazy.
cool. Yeah, that's
Like
cool.
seeing a dog jump like 27 feet or whatever it is wild.
Some dogs are built different.
You guys run a lot. Run a dog.
Yeah, we do.
You guys got.
Yeah.
We do.
My brother has one, Hudson, and then he got one this year too. So
Still training right now.
we should be running 2 next year for sure.
You
Dying
don't
man.
kill that many ducks.
I'm just tired of walking across.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mark.
it don't matter.
I don't know. Hopefully, we'll have them ready to travel with us next year too. So
You guys got any big? Because yeah, you guys mentioned this last season. You guys went to North Dakota,
and
Oklahoma, or
now
Texas. Texas.
Caleb and I went to Texas and Tennessee.
And to
did
Tennessee
some
this year.
Media stuff, yeah,
So.
crazy.
Any big plans for this next upcoming year? Yeah.
Trying to do New Jersey on a brant hunt all of us together.
And
Jersey will be fun.
North Dakota for
Yeah,
sure.
hopefully go back
Yeah.
and do
I
that.
gotta get through my senior year and then see where I go from there. But I gotta get through the last year. This year, doing those trips this year was hard bounce and all that was cool. So
Yeah.
But like with New Jersey, we can go up there and brant hunt, and then you hop up one bay, and the
Dive
blackheads are all over the place. The bluebills, it's just so thick you can kill them out of a boat.
What's one story that like comes to mind?
The
That-
one I told you this morning,
which one was that?
Getting
Like
stuck
6
and lost.
like 6 foot, no, like 6 footers.
Oh,
over
yeah,
across
true.
the sound. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah. So it's mine.
Like
A little
going-
bit, I think.
Going across the sound.
Going
Yeah.
across
Oh
the-
yeah. Tell that story because I've heard that. Is it that whatever drop off or whatever?
It's a place we have on the bay here that's everybody around here knows that you need to be smart about when you cross, and there's a limit to what you do that Ethan likes to bend all the time.
Hey, man. Live life on the edge. I mean,
But-
come
If
on.
it's blowing, we're going, man.
Yeah, until you're not coming home. But
Shoot, pitch a tent. Come on now.
so that's where we go there, and we hunt out in the open water
Across the bay.
across the bay, and you know you're you got to be really smart about making sure you're on a good boat that's built to diver hunt.
Yeah.
And that it is at least very seaworthy. So that's one of those things where you got to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, make sure you're safe. And then, you load it up with as many decoys as you can stuff in there and shove the guys in a little crevice and put your goggles on, face mask up, and run across.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's not outrageous to say that one person dies out there a year.
yeah, more than that.
At least it's like 6
I mean,
per boat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just highly I say go if you're gonna go across there. Like if you want to go across that bay, go in the daytime
Yeah,
and kind of get your feel for everything because
in the summer
when it's dark, blowing and waves are crashing here, crashing there, it gets hectic. You know what I mean? And it does get scary. But last year we only had one little scare last year.
Like 2 or 3.
But
If
was
you
2
can't
years
see the
ago.
waves, it's not
But
worth going out.
yeah, I mean, it was blowing about what 35,
30,
gust
40.
of probably like 50, maybe. I don't know. It was howling. It was
stupid.
like you hop out of the truck and you're like, whoa.
Jeez. Yeah.
But we broke out of the little inlet there and we knew it was coming. You know,
We almost turned around.
we got it. There's like a big hole out there. It goes from like 20 to 90 foot.
Yeah.
She stacks up in there, like
Washing
she
machine. And,
gets up in there. I mean, we were taking it. I was like, oh yeah, it's all right. You know, and we got in that deep water. That was probably 5-6 footers. I mean, you'd go down one, you'd look back,
It's like over your head.
yeah.
you'd be up here, and we did that for what, like 8 miles.
It was, but it took us forever because we had to go so slow.
Yeah, that like when stuff like that's happening, you just gotta make sure everybody's okay. Like
Yeah.
constantly check on each other because it is cold, and one wrong move and you're done.
We couldn't even like turn around if we wanted to.
You can't,
that day.
yeah, I mean,
Once
you
you
gotta
get
go.
it, you gotta
You
go.
gotta
keep
Like,
going.
when it's that bad, you turn around and get side to it, and like a 5 to 6 foot wave for the boats that we're duck hunting in are massive. You know, when you look at these offshore boats, no big deal. But if you get side to it and 19-foot center console on waves stacked up like that, it
I
can
mean,
be
even going down one with no flare, I mean, you're going through it. You're not gonna, you know what I mean?
But like a 5 to 6 footer in the ocean at 20 seconds is completely doable.
rolling. You're
We're
rolling
doing
over the
2,
hills
3
on it.
seconds here in the bay. Like when it's blowing that much, it's 5 footers, but it's stacked. Like there's one here, and before you can hit the other one, you're going back to it.
But boy, let me tell you, when we got across there,
It was crazy.
It was-
Worth it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you find that one spot where the wind's not hitting up against the bank.
Mhm.
You
Where it's not
burn 'em
super
up.
icy either. And,
All day, burn them up. Because, I mean, if I was a duck, I'm not sitting in no 5 foot. You know what I mean? I'm
So
gonna
you
sit where
better
it's
bring a
flat.
heater though, because on days like that, you get wet on the way out, regardless. Like if you want to or not, if you're tucked up under the gun,
you can be
regardless, you're
Drake
getting wet.
banded. Well, if you're banded, getting wet regardless. But sick of gear, whatever you want, you're getting wet. It's happening.
But I
So
mean,
you could be a straight oil slick.
Yeah.
the crazy part is, like, I enjoy doing that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like an adrenaline rush. Like, I'm just like,
Here we
no. We went
go.
across there the other day, and I didn't go to sleep, you know, because I was just constantly thinking about what do I need to do. And it was snowing that night, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go outside. And I was just excited for it, you know.
It can be legendary.
I didn't
for
sleep, and I was just excited and like just hyper, like let's go do it.
Shoot, we went on flats that day, and we got a text from him at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like, "Be safe the road."
Sure. What are you doing driving anywhere right now? Go to bed.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm trucking, man, just getting down there.
Because we just
got down there that
we
early?
got like kind of a dusting, maybe like an inch of
I
snow,
was working
but
on
it
the
froze
truck at one
solid,
point.
and the roads were straight ice everywhere, and yeah.
Yeah, I was pulling a 25-foot boat, and my truck was spinning up a bridge.
Shoot, when
That
we
would
were
have
at
been
the
a
ramp-
sight for sure. Your truck with those bald tires running up that thing. Wow, 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 wow,
And it
wow.
was bad because she'd start to slide, and the
Uh-huh.
boat would start to be like
Like
all pointed. I'm
Jack
like,
Lemmon.
whoa, baby. Just patting her on her side. Come on.
shoot at the ramp at the flats. We were launching the boat, sliding backwards on ice.
Yeah.
You bring a shovel.
What's
Dude,
a shovel
we
gonna
broke
do
it
when
all
it's-
up, kicked it out of the
stick
way.
ice?
We
What,
brought
you talking about
salt, dude.
snow?
No, ice.
Straight
Oh.
ice. No, because so the one guy backed his boat in fine, pulled it out fine, and then
So,
as
just turned
soon as
ice.
it hit the ground, it came ice, and the guy decided to take the same track. So he was sliding good, real good. It was a little scary there for a second. I thought we were
But,
going to be fishing a truck out.
I think one of our best memories, especially on the public, happened this year to us. We came into the hole early. We're kind of freaks about this one spot, so we sleep at the ramp, and as soon as we like hear a car coming, we roll out there and go get the spot. And we got in there at 2:30 and sat from 2:30 to 6:30 and heard all the ducks on it and
I fell
waited
asleep on a
waited
marsh hump like that.
and just waited for the right time to push the birds off. So we went in there, pushed them out, set the decoys real quick. Had like 5 seconds to shoot and light, loaded the guns, and we shot our 3-man in 61 minutes.
Yeah, they came
And
right
it was
back.
as fast as they like. And sometimes like people shoot 3-mans or faster than that or whatever. But it was like as soon as you shoot your ducks, run out there, grab them, and you got to walk through mud that's up your waist and ice and all that, and then get back. Get ready. You've messed up 2 tolls, and then you take another 10-pack, and it's like, all right, here we go.
If 10 minutes went by and there weren't ducks in the air, you were like, hunt's over.
So it was 61 minutes from when we, from shooting time came to when we were walking out there. That was pretty wild.
Like picked up, gone.
Yeah, all widgeon and gadwall. It was fun, huh?
The craziest part was it was split 50-50.
Yeah, we were 9 widgeon, 9 gadwall. That's how we walked out.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
No black ducks then.
No black ducks.
I
I actually have terrible luck with black ducks. Black
Yeah,
ducks,
we
dude,
can't kill them.
I kill like 3 a year.
Dude, usually we can't get away from them.
I'm telling you, dude, like, we pounded on them so much,
Uh-huh.
like, when we were younger.
You still do. Like,
No,
like,
I'm
like
saying,
never
like,
get away
It's not a
from
hunt without a couple
Yeah.
black ducks.
Like, when I mean, like, younger, like, when I first got, like, my license and, like, Caleb first got his, son, we'd get a bunch of guys in there and just beat on them.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Shoot, I was
But it's fun, dude. I mean, they decoy right
like
in
basically
there.
3 miles away from them one day, and they killed a load of black ducks. I didn't even shoot a duck.
Yeah.
but, dude, they follow us.
Is there a lot of students at Salisbury for that waterfowl hunt? That do
It's
hunt
Everly diminishing. Like you were talking about earlier, like, 2014, 15, 16, you were getting a lot of pictures from here. And I, coming in to Salisbury, I knew a bunch of people that graduated that hunted. Excuse me. So I was super excited to meet guys to hunt with and all that good stuff. And I was extremely surprised how after my first full year, I met 2 guys that hunt.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, it's you find a couple guys that hunt, but you don't find a lot of guys that hunt like us. Like you don't find a lot of guys that are like, all right, we're going to sleep in the hole tonight to make sure we get this spot.
Or even that just want to give up going to a party on the weekend and to hunt in the morning.
Yeah, like a lot of people won't skip a night of drinking to go kill a bunch of ducks.
I don't know. It's a grind here that people don't see. Because, I mean, you can't just hop in your truck and drive. You got to hop in your truck and hook your boat up and then hop in the marsh,
Yeah, there's a lot of
walk
things you
miles
need.
and miles.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, going to North Dakota and driving and just sitting there glassing the field is the life. But
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
If I didn't have to put another pair of waders on my entire life, I wouldn't.
I don't know. It's just, when it's right, it's right.
Why do you think though from like that time 14, 15, 16 to now like there's not as many students that hunt this area?
I just feel like this world is making new things every day.
I think like as just one, we stopped, less local kids started coming to this school,
Okay.
and we
The ones that had the resources kind of
to do it, yeah. And then you have kids like I know a bunch of kids at school that hunt, and they do it when they go home with their dad on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, but it's hard to get one. You got to have a boat, so you got to get the boat here, and then you got to have all your decoys. Now you got to find a place to store it. Now you got your gun. Where are you gonna put it? Because you can't have it on campus, and so there's a lot of variables that come into play. And like as a society, I think there's less of a blind eye being turned to some of those things. Like, when my dad was in school, this was a century ago, but his rifle and shotgun was in his backseat, like hanging up in the rear glass. Nobody had a problem with it. And granted, that's been different for a while, but I think things like that play into why kids just can't hunt down
I
here.
kind of just think it's a like a respect thing towards waterfowl hunting. Like people are doing it for different reasons now, and
Yeah.
like they're just not taking it as like serious, or like the respect isn't the same. I don't feel like.
More people that come down here on public land will shoot your swing birds than actually shooting toll.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know. The world's changing, and I feel like that's changing everything.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of guys these days don't want to work for it sometimes either.
Coming to the end of the season, pressure goes down immensely. Like,
But when
these-
you see pressure, like, is it a lot of the older guys in this area that are applying that pressure, or
it's
is
not
it?
even that really. So this is like the closest public land that's
In
worth
Maryland.
anything.
This is all
in
public land in Maryland, right
So
here.
it's everyone from across the bridge running over here, unless they have.
And
a
right
lease.
across the bridge is
Annapolis, Baltimore,
okay.
Washington D.C. is even
Yeah.
not that far.
Like they're
Yeah,
driving
how
2-3
far are you?
hours.
Yeah, it's 2-3 hours
Yeah.
to DC from here.
Yeah.
So
So they're running down here doing the public land, and they're just weekend warriors. They don't. I don't know if they grew up doing it or what, but
yeah.
some people are just getting into it and don't really know how to do it, and it's honestly
So-
ruining it.
And you and I were talking about this earlier today or yesterday, but people are forced to come and hunt this public land because the lease price in Maryland, state of Maryland, is insane. Like, for one farm for the hunting rights, it is not unreasonable to believe you're gonna spend $25,000.
Yeah, my
For-
buddy's dad spent $25,000 on a lease right now.
And you're looking at one farm. And if you're a goose hunter, it's a goose farm. You get 30 days, and you get to shoot your one bird.
One bird,
For
yeah.
you're paying $1,000 a bird. That's just And even if you're
That's
trying to
not.
run,
It's not like it's a 1,000-acre farm or anything. It's a 300-acre farm.
that's if you're lucky. A lot of times people pay $10,000 for a pit in a field. They get that pit and the 100 yards around it set their decoy.
And there are 3 pits in that field, and you never know when anyone else is going to hunt.
Yeah, like that happens. And so that's hard, and a lot of guys are then forced to come to the public, and that all the pressure changes our hunting obviously, and it's a whole wash of stuff that affects it.
Sea ducking has gone through the roof
Sea
recently.
ducking's a joke.
Like if you try to do it in the bay, like halfway through the season they're
Them sea
educated.
ducks about to be like wedging a gal.
Yeah, I know, right?
Smart boy. You're gonna have to like lay out hunt for sure.
I know.
But are you talking pressure for sea ducks?
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
people are doing 55-foot work boats.
Yeah, like the waterman boats are taking clients.
Yeah.
And they anchor up, start cooking out the tables out, and they're just on the back of the boat shooting sea ducks.
I mean, the sea ducks like that because they think they're oystering, and then when they oyster, all that stuff comes
All
up
their
and they eat
feed's on
on
the
it.
surface, so they just come and eat it.
But halfway through the season they're like, oh wait, they're not oystering.
Yeah.
And shoot, they're about to cut that to 30 days too.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
they're
30. It's 30.
Yeah,
Aren't they
they're
gonna
cutting
join
it
it
in half.
with the actual duck season?
You can, the special Scoter season is over now, but you can still shoot them.
Yeah, but I thought they were taking out like the actual sea duck.
No, there's a 30-day sea duck season now. It was
I think the
75,
limit's going down
and
too.
now
I think
it's
it's
60.
going down to like 4 instead of 5 or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's all changed. Maryland's limit change every year. Our seasons change. Like,
If you're not on top of it, you can get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I was hoping to bring that goose limit back.
Yes,
At least the two.
please
I don't know
God,
if this camera
At
can
least-
help us with that, but like,
please give us 2 geese.
Hey, ducks
At least
unlimited.
No.
at least 2. But yeah, I'd love to shoot 5, but
That's just tough. Like, do you only put 1 shell in your gun then too?
Oh,
No.
You know the worst part about it? You drive 3 hours west, you can kill 5.
You go on the
Because
5
it's
goose
not in the flyway.
They're considered resident geese.
but that's all we shoot. you know.
We're all.
I don't know if we could shoot 5, I wouldn't touch another duck.
Unless
Unless
Unless.
the divers got crazy,
Yeah.
and can't leave our redheads out.
Oh, September. Oh boy. Well, September our resident season comes in, or early goose or whatever. September 1st, and then it goes 2 weeks. And the good thing about us is like one of our good buddies. He's a farmer, and then my grandfather owns a farm. So like we have 2 farms that have a lot of land that we can pick from, and usually our buddy's cornfield is the first one cut. Watch out. Like
It gets wild.
yeah, I mean we can shoot. What is it?
8.
8. We can shoot 8 a person, and when they come, they come.
Yeah.
And like, we literally we take off or we find a way to hunt every day for those 2 weeks just because we love goose hunting so much, and it's like so wild. Like last year, our first few days we shot like 50 plus, and it was just same field. They were just eating us up.
And then a couple of years ago, we were shooting like 100 a day.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
You get the right field and like the right place. Whew.
yeah, my phone was broken.
But that resident stuff, that's fair to say that those geese don't act like 100% like normal geese. I mean, they're just
No,
big fat
yeah.
locals.
But those are local.
No, but the
They
thing
don't
is,
even act
man,
normal now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're all, but you guys are all residents here. You're right.
like, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you think about it, like, I guess last resident season, these birds were acting kind of weird. But if you think about it, we're shooting these same birds year after year.
Yeah.
I mean, the big fat ones. I mean, they're gonna know what's up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they definitely know the difference between a decoy and a real goose, because you can tell when they.
Especially when you're setting silhouettes. Like they work really well.
Moral of the story is if you want to hunt in Maryland, come September.
It's usually nice if they have a good hatch. There's a lot of
Yeah.
yearlings in there. It
Yeah.
gets pretty good.
But goose hunting is fun.
What about you mentioned the decoys. Do you guys run a lot of silos out here then, or?
That's all we run.
I mean, we're starting to run more silos because we've seen what they do,
Yeah.
and I believe in them. But I definitely think full bodies are definitely here. You need full bodies.
So Menel and I, the guy who taught us how to hunt, specifically goose hunting, is like that's what he does, and he's super old school. Like every year he would have us make him 300 new masonite silhouettes, and that's all we've ever done. And like silhouettes, and then
Maybe a dozen. in the
maybe a
hole.
dozen in the hole or stuffers.
bodies.
Like if we're not running silhouettes, we were running a stuffer rig.
Stuff. Oh god,
Like,
that'd be terrible.
100.
Setting out.
But they're terrible to set out, but they're like there's nothing.
So
It's as close as you're gonna get. They're so effective.
But you don't put out as many though, do you?
We're setting 100, 120.
Oh, geez.
Anywhere from
Still
like
good amount.
30 to 120.
But like when they get stale on the silhouettes, you put those stuffers out because everyone else is running silhouettes or full bodies. You put those stuffers out and they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
You're still killing like.
So
That's
we
when you kill your limits late season.
we believe in them. Like we own 5 dozen AVNX full bodies. We bought them, used them one time, haven't left the bag since. Like I've seen no need.
Than I do
Yeah.
goose hunting.
I see
Because,
no need to ever own another full body.
Dude, the dive bombs just look so good now. Like
Yeah.
so good.
One thing I want to try is, and I like a lot of, and that's one thing. Like when I go to all these colleges and we're like, if they're trying to get Canada's dive bombs, it's always
Oh
that's what's in the spread. They always have.
I mean,
dive
you're-
bombs.
Well, and it's affordable. I mean, it's one of the few
Oh, yeah.
decoys you can afford to buy and get a big rig of now.
And you can put
But-
30 dozen in the back of your truck. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
need a trailer.
Yeah, but one thing I have not seen yet though is the complete like black silhouettes
Oh,
yet.
well.
Shoot, that's
Yeah,
all
so-
we're
Those- yeah,
That's
those
the
are
ones
Yeah,
we
fully
make. That's
black.
all.
Yeah, fully black.
Yeah.
They work. I mean,
Or we'd put a dash of white on the breast.
Yeah,
We'd do
that's
that.
what I grew up using, like the fully black ones.
Yeah.
But I want to see like the dive bomb ones, where like even students are integrating those into the spreads. Because
Uh-huh.
when I go to these colleges, it's always like just the Canada look, and I want to see if they do put at least maybe like a dozen contrast or the black
It
ones.
makes a difference, I think.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I feel like it all depends like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Me personally, like if you're trafficking and stuff, that's a huge help because all that dark stuff
Yeah.
is
So
attracts.
good.
But
That's
I mean,
what I was listening to one of the dive bomb podcast episodes, and was it Forrest? He was talking about how him and Kyle were out just
yeah.
pulling geese from,
Yeah, I
like
mean-
far out
Yeah.
because of the all
But
black
like
spread.
here, I don't really think we need them because I mean, we're
Here.
Are
watching-
the geese pretty close though when
Yeah,
you
I
see them?
mean-
Because you guys got those tall trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like
yeah, I mean they're here like town and then a field 5
Yeah.
minutes from here. I mean they.
it's
jump
not
in.
like North Dakota where you can see a mile.
Oh,
But-
out.
They
I
just
mean,
pop over the trees. And
You got to
Yeah.
note that hunting here and hunting 2 hours north of here for geese,
different.
completely
Yeah,
different.
okay.
Like, up there, we'll set 25 dozen in traffic all day.
But you can do that.
Is
we-
it all
we can do
fields
that.
up there? Like is there?
We
not
have
much
there's
timber?
rivers. There's plenty of timber
Is
around, but it's a ag
a
area.
lot
They
of
do a
farming.
lot of farming, so
Okay.
there's tons of fields and like that. If you're not holding geese in your field, you just traffic. Like you get in between 2 bodies of water where they're roosting, no problem. You can still kill your birds.
I mean, you got to throw a rig to do that, which. I
Not even, man. I mean, like
I
you
love doing a
look
big
15 dozen, you can do it effectively. Now, granted, I mean, we're not North Dakota. We're not dealing with feeds of 20,000 birds everywhere, stuff like that. Like, you know, we're Maryland, so we keep that in mind. But we do traffic up that way, and then down here it's completely different.
Yep. I mean, what we've learned here, I mean, you watch a field for a week. Like, we watched the same field for a week before resident, and those birds, they start to know the field. And we kind of learn, I mean, throw, like small amount of decoys because, like,
What you see?
because, you know, the first group that comes in, they're like, hold up. We're the first group here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't want to throw a big rig, and they're just like, hold up. You know? But,
Yeah, it's fun that early season. I think it's fun because it's like a challenge.
Yeah.
You're playing a mind game with all these new birds, and you don't need many decoys out, little family packs and things like that. So it makes. Look, I'm already looking forward to August.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
But no, I think. Oh, I gotta give a shout out to Levi with the Goose Gossip
Ah,
podcast.
Oh,
I just
boy.
about fell over when Caleb walked in the room with that hoodie because I was like, you know Levi, and I was on his podcast when he was kind of getting started. So it just goes to show like how small the industry is. And
Levi's cool.
you never know. Yeah.
That's
who-
crazy.
He's a funny man.
But shout out to Levi and the Goose Gossip. So, but no, I think that's gonna do it here for the podcast.
man.
It's still early in the week, and we got a lot of hunting to do.
Yes, sir.
By the time I fly out here on Thursday night, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you everyone for listening and watching to the Campus Waterfowl podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to share with anyone that you think that could value from listening to this podcast. If there's anything that you learned, I'm sure they could learn as well. So be sure to share it with them, and make sure you guys go give these guys a follow on Instagram because I'll be tagging them in all the photos from this weekend and everything. So go give them a follow. But thank you guys for
you.
Yeah, thank
letting
you.
me come out here.
Sure.
Having a great time already, and I'm looking forward to this evening's hunt and the next couple days.
Oh, yeah,
See what-
good.
see
Trying
what-
to find a few.
yeah, see how it goes. So, all right. See you guys in the next one.
Cool.